let me tell you something that's been intrinsic across every developer I have hired at Intrepid is their passion is to see the excitement and smile on the player's face they're making a game for. People don't join the gaming industry because they want to make a bunch of money. People join the gaming industry because they take heart in what players are experiencing that they've had a hand in creating. Like, that's the ultimate sense of satisfaction. It's the ultimate sense of reward for any developer. So when those decisions get made, again, I'm going to say that it's not the developer's fault. It is the corporate, greedy, blood-sucking overlord that is stepping into the development team and saying, you must do this thing, and this thing must be on my desk by the end of this quarter. Like, that is not, I mean, and I'm not trying to put on blast any particular company or whatever, but it's like, that's what led me to want to create Intrepid. Yeah.
It's like the developers are like trapped running around like ants in a maze, I would say. And it is, I actually,
the corporate structure is putting up the walls. I think that's pretty much what we're saying.
Yeah, look, I went to school for game design, right? And the thing that you said, Steven, you don't get into game design to make money. The second that I got out of school and saw how much those game design jobs and like just general jobs around gaming paid, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to turn on stream. And it was like, screw this shit. There are a lot of incredibly passionate people that you will meet in the indie scene. And even if you walk into a AAA, you're still going to meet a lot of those people. And the thing is, though, is just the reality of the job. I actually think one of the worst things about the jobs in game design, I feel like the bigger the company, the more likely you are at this point to have very inexperienced people who start out in QA and just slowly work their way up. And then all of a sudden they're managing a project that they're really not, they don't have the skill set necessarily to be in charge of. I feel like that's
there's like a term for that where people keep getting promoted to a point of incompetence. Well, because they're good at their current job, they get promoted up to the next job until they're not good at the next job, because that's whenever they stop getting promoted. And like, it's definitely an issue. I see that happen with a lot of
principle. Is that what it's called?
What? I'm not sure.
Peer principle.
The peer principle. Maybe it is. And like, yeah, I think overall that's definitely been like a struggle with gaming in general, is that like there are so often times where there are changes made to games and things that are added into games that are purely made for, I mean, this is to make money, right? And there's no way that you can explain like, how is this good for players? There's no way that it's good for players. It's just, this is a parasite on the player base. It doesn't help anybody. And it actually and I think like the example that you gave with like the cosmetics is definitely true. Many people don't have resentment towards cosmetics whenever the end game rewards are great. But whenever the end game rewards are lacking and the cosmetics are just the end all and be all, it's like, you're either wearing a burlap sack or this giant, like massive, plate armor that has, flags coming off of it if you spend $20. Yeah, it's not good. And I think the cannibalism there is what people really resent, not necessarily the store itself. I think that's really at least how I feel about it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think another component, by the way, when we implemented like our cosmetics that are part of the packages, is that like these aren't things you just get on day one either. Like, you have to actually earn the in-game item first to apply the skin.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So it's not like you're purchasing a mount and like, oh, I have a mount on day one. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you must achieve the comparable mount first, and then you get to apply the cosmetic as well. So like, I think what you just said is right. It's like, players have just experienced the bad way of doing cosmetics, and I think there's a good way that's healthy, and again goes to support the game, and at the same time, provides, I think, an option for less hardcore players to achieve visual diversity, things that they enjoy.
That makes sense. Rich, want to go ahead and get some questions in there? Yep. I know people have had a ton of questions.
I'm already on it. I'm reading through them.
I've got one right here, and this is one from Radovan over on Twitter. He says, please ask if we will have naval combat with destroyable airships, and if we will be able to make nodes on islands in the middle of the ocean or sea, if there are any.
Holy shit, there's a lot of questions there. So you can't just make nodes where you choose. Nodes are predefined locations that exist within the world as they relate to nearby points of interest, right? Because again, they share those points of interest. You won't see the nodes at first, and as you do things, the nodes will then progress, and you'll be able to identify, oh, this is a node location. I'm going to do things here. It's going to have quests that loop for me, and I can, whatever. There will be some nodes that do exist on islands, so that is a yes, but you won't be placing them. Are there airships that you can fly? No, there's no airships that you can fly around. Will there be, I think the other part of that was like, is there naval battles and destruction? Yes, there's naval battles and
ships.
Yes, the ships are destroyable. Okay. One of the cool things about the ship system is that you're not just going to be able to get your ship destroyed and then like float out in the water and rejoin the battle after some like 2 minutes of repairing and spawn the ship just in the middle of the water. Ships can only be spawned from land locations. So like if you lose a battle at sea, there's a consequence there. You're not just going to have to face that same player. They're going to have to take time to come back out to you, which gives you the time for whatever the reason you destroyed that, you fought that person, to either get their stuff, yes, or to complete the raid, or to, travel with the merchandise, or, whatever.
Yeah. That's happened. I remember in Rust, we killed this guy's ship as he was like out at the oil rig, and I saw him swimming back by himself in the water, and I felt so bad shooting him because he was a friend of mine. But
you put him out of his misery. Otherwise, he would have swum all the way back.
Yeah, I did. I had to do it.
You did a service.
So yeah, that's awesome. I think that for me, like the naval battles and the stuff, the reason why I think it's like so like really compelling is that like what is it, like only 13% of the ocean has been mapped out, so it's still like an unknown in a lot of ways to people.
Have you seen that UFO shit where there's like UFOs flying in out of the water?
Yes,
I'm telling you, you need to go rewatch The Abyss, because there's some freaking underwater like alien civilization that's just watching us. Maybe we're in like a lab experiment. Yeah, exactly.
No, I've heard about that way too many times from my mom. She's very into that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm super into that too. I constantly share videos with my team, like on Slack all the time. I'm like, look at this one. This is a UFO. And they're just like, yeah, Steven, there's no UFO.
I know it is this time for sure, yeah. It's not a photo glitch. No, it's UFO, 100%.
Like ancient aliens kind of stuff?
I mean, I don't know about the whole ancient aliens thing, but like, it's